Another story that I thought was really, really worthy of sharing with you, Seth Abramson writing in Huffington Post, the headline, "Worse than Watergate? Concerns grow that anti-Clinton FBI faction conspired to hand Trump the election." And what Seth points out in this article is that, we really, in terms of, quote, Russian hacking, right, which is the big meme of the year, it seems, or meme of the week, that, first of all, there's, you've got this disagreement between the CIA and the FBI, and then you've got this guy, Craig Murray, the former UK ambassador to Uzbekistan, saying, or U.S. ambassador to Uzbekistan, saying, I know these guys who released the DNC leaks, and they were basically people inside the DNC who were PO'd the way the DNC was sticking it to Bernie. And that's why they released it. But, let's say it was the Russians, whatever. The point that Seth Abramson is making is that's not quantifiable, right? You can't point to actual polls and numbers that indicate that revealing that the DNC, and there's no implication at all in any of those leaks, at least the ones that I read, that Hillary Clinton herself had anything to do with this, that the DNC was putting its thumb on the scale against Bernie, right, and in favor of Hillary, that had any impact on the election. Now, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it had some impact on the election, and my guess would be it would probably be, millennials who were disenchanted, felt disenfranchised, and probably voted for Jill Stein. And in fact, Jill Stein won more votes in the swing states than Hillary Clinton lost by. So had she not been in the race, had those people shown up and voted, but then you got the question, would they have shown up and voted anyway? But in any case, that's not yet quantifiable. What is quantifiable, and Joel, I think his last name is Benison, he was the Clinton campaign chief strategist, has said this repeatedly on television, as have others within the Clinton campaign, was James Comey, the FBI, coming out and saying, 11 days before the election, this was the October surprise, saying, hey, look at this, on that weird, sexually weird guy, Anthony Weiner, we found millions of Hillary Clinton's, on his computer, we found millions of Hillary Clinton's emails. And we're going to investigate this. And it just started the whole thing all over again, right? And then 3 days from the election, he comes out and says, well, I guess there was no there, which is actually even worse, because once again, it raised the issue of the Clinton emails and the Clinton server, which frankly, in my opinion, was a non-issue. I agree with Bernie. I don't give a damn about Hillary Clinton's emails, and I don't think, frankly, anybody else should. There's no evidence that her server was ever compromised, for example, unlike the DNC and maybe the RNC. But the argument that Seth Abramson is making is that, Jim Comey, at the very least, that there was a faction of anti-Hillary people inside the FBI who decided to politicize this discovery on Huma Abedin's computer that Anthony Weiner had been using, or Anthony Weiner's computer that Huma Abedin, whatever. I guess it was Anthony Weiner's computer that Huma's computer had automatically backed up to, or had backed up to it sometime in the past. And he's arguing, Seth Abrams is arguing that, this actually measurably, to the extent that Clinton may have lost, and I don't frankly believe that Hillary Clinton lost this election. I think that if you were to actually open the ballots of the people who were knocked off the voting rolls by Chris Kobach's interstate cross-check program, the Republican voter purge, the 75,000 of them in Detroit and Flint, for example, that were never opened and counted. If you were to do that in every one of the states, there's no doubt in my mind that not only did Clinton overwhelmingly win the popular vote, she won the electoral vote as well. But that the FBI wanted to mess with us.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann program. Call 202-808-9925.
Not the FBI institutionally, but Republican partisans within the FBI were politicizing that agency, and that's a big deal.